The Act First Show. My name is Chandler Molyneux, and this is the show where we help online coaches and high-ticket closers get great at sales. Now, I'm super excited because we are kicking off a 3-part series where we break down the exact same sales script that helped me do 8 figures in online coaching sales. More specifically, what we're going to be talking about today is the discovery section. All right, I actually think that this is the section of the sales script that is the most important, but also is the least talked about. Most sales coaches, most business gurus only talk about objection handling, but what if you could actually build real rapport with your customers and eliminate objections before they even happened? That's the purpose of the discovery call, is to build real rapport, to eliminate concerns, and to prevent future objections from ever even happening in the first place. And a lot of people have it backwards, right? What did I say about the discovery section? This is where you build rapport. Well, you see a lot of sales gurus, they'll talk about building rapport, and they'll say like, yeah, talk about their childhood, talk about their past, where did they grow up, how's their great aunt Susie doing, where were they born? Bah, bullshit. That is not actually building real rapport. Building real rapport is understanding where they are at, connecting with their pain points, understanding their vision. And the more clearly you can do that in the discovery section, the better chance you have to make this individual your client and actually be the person that transforms their life. Now, I didn't always know this right off the bat. Okay, when I first started in sales, I was absolutely, utterly terrible. I took my first sales call in 2017. I've taken thousands and thousands of calls since, but I learned this. I learned how to have a perfect discovery section from taking thousands of calls. I really struggled with connecting deeply with my prospects. I struggled to understand what their pain points were. I struggled to eliminate objections in the discovery section. But through taking thousands of calls, I feel like I've perfected the formula, and this is going to be part 1 of a 3-part series. So let's get into it. The discovery section for online coaching sales. If you see me looking down, I like to come prepared. Preparation is key. Here's a little side tip. Bet you didn't think you were going to get these side tips, but spend 10 minutes. If you're giving a presentation, if you're recording a piece of content, spend 10 minutes and write down your talking points. I promise it makes the video that much better. All right, so we're gonna break down every single part of the discovery. So the first part is the opener. All right, the opener may seem insignificant. It is very significant. I don't know if you've ever been on a call, I have, where you pop on, you don't set the tone for the call appropriately, the person hijacks the call, just starts talking and talking and talking. Next thing you know, 30 minutes have gone by and you're like, holy crap, I haven't even gotten a question asked. You never close those deals, all right? Let me know in the comment section if that's ever happened to you, because it is truly the worst. So the opener is very important. All right, so for the first 60 seconds, I do like to break the ice. I'll ask them where they're at, where they're located, how the weather is. I literally only do that for 60 seconds though, all right? A lot of closers, a lot of coaches will make the mistake of making that a 5 to 10 minute segment. And then at that point, if it goes beyond 60 seconds, people are like, this is kind of a waste of my time. I could have talked about the weather with my husband. I could have talked about the weather with my wife, with my best friend. Why do I have to be talking about the weather with a random fucking stranger? Oh yeah, I don't, right? And they'll lose respect for you. But if you do it, tactfully, politely, first 60 seconds, oh, where are you calling in from? Oh, that's awesome. How's the weather today? Blah, blah, blah. And then the transition out of that is you say, great, are you ready to dive in? Great, are you ready to dive in? They say yes. Now we need to set the stage for the call. Okay, this is gonna put you in the position of power, put you in the driver's seat, put you as the leader of this call. You are dictating the terms, okay? But we're also communicating to them what they can expect, right? So here, I'll say it and then we'll break it down. So what I'll say is, great, so for today's call, the first 10 to 15 minutes, I'm just gonna ask some questions. Wanna make sure 110% that we can help you first. If I feel confident in that, what I'll do is I'll share my screen, I'll walk you through the entire program so you have a good understanding. If you feel this program can help you reach your goals, then we'll talk about potential next steps. Does that sound good? So what I'm doing is I'm laying out the framework for the call. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this here, we're gonna do this here, and by the end of the call, if you feel this program can help you, we'll talk about next steps. So now they know we're gonna be talking about money at the end if this is mutually a good fit. All right, that's the opener. Okay, the next question is extremely important. This is figuring out their why. Now, where a lot of coaches get this one wrong is they truly only get the why. They don't get the why of the why. All right, and let me explain. I'm gonna do this as a fitness will be my example here. So if I'm on the call with Mary and I say, awesome, Mary, well, hey, my first question for you, what brings you to today's call? Like, what's your biggest why? Right? And she just says, oh, I just want to, lose 30 pounds, right? And I go, oh, that's awesome. Why do you want to lose 30 pounds? And she just goes, oh, I don't know. I just want to, feel better, look better. That's not a why. But unfortunately, a lot of coaches stop there. They think looking better and feeling better is the why. And that's not the why. You're not getting leverage, right? Which what we're trying to do in the why section is we're trying to find the silver bullet. All right, what's the silver bullet? The silver bullet is like one shot kill, right? If I figure out the main reason they're on this call, the silver bullet, if they tell me they need to think about it, they tell me it's too much money, they tell me whatever in the objection handling, boom! I can pull out that silver bullet, the thing that matters to them most, and fire that sucker. All right, so we need to figure out the why. Let's go back to our example with Mary. Mary, super excited to have you on the call. My first question for you, what's your big why? Why are you on the call today? Well, Chad, I just want to lose 30 pounds. Mary, that's awesome. Why do you want to lose these 30 pounds? Well, Chad, I really just want to feel good and look good. Mary, I love that you want to feel good and look good. How would feeling good and looking good change your life compared to what you're experiencing right now? Well, Chad, I'm going to be honest. Like I said, I really want to look good and feel good. My husband, he doesn't look at me the same anymore. It makes me feel really not confident, when we're having sex or when we're going out on dates. I just don't feel like myself anymore. Wow, Mary, how long have you been feeling that way for? Chad, I've been feeling this way for 5 years. Damn, Mary, is it safe to say that now, you're looking to end this once and for all? You don't want to live this way anymore. Is that true? Is that true, Mary? Is that right? Chad, that is absolutely correct. Now we found the silver bullet. The silver bullet is she doesn't feel like herself anymore, right? Her husband doesn't look at her the same anymore. It's eroding her confidence. Mary, how much longer can you go on like this? Chad, I can't go on like this at all. Safe to say, Mary, you're ready to make a change. Now I'm reaffirming that I'm done feeling this way. I'm ready to make a change. All right, so finding the why. Let's break down the sweet science of it. Go a layer deeper, right? Just like Shrek is made of layers of onions, so is the why. The why is made of layers of onions. We gotta peel that sucker back. We gotta find the core of that onion, all right? So here's how we do it, all right? My favorite thing to say is when they give you the surface level why is to ask them how that would change their life compared to what they're experiencing right now, right? Let's give you a different example. Let's say that I'm a business coach. Right, Chad, I'm just not making money. I'm not having consistency in my business. Hey, Carl, appreciate you sharing that with me. What would consistency mean to your business? If you had consistency, how would that change your life compared to what you're experiencing right now? Well, Chad, I'd be able to have money. I'd be able to support my family. Tell me more, Carl. Tell me more, right? I'm peeling back the layer of the onion. I'm asking them, tell me more. What does that mean to you? How long have you been experiencing this for? Are you ready to make a change, right? I'm asking more and more questions to unearth the why of the why. All right, let's keep this moving, okay? So the next section, the next question in the discovery section is their goal, okay? With their goal, very simple. SMART goals, all right? I know you've heard it, but that's what you need to get, all right? It's not, losing weight is not a goal. Making money is not a goal. Having a better marriage is not a goal, right? We need to define specifically what the goal is. I want to lose 30 pounds in the next 6 months. I want to increase my revenue by 30% in the next year. With my marriage, I want to feel like we did in our honeymoon phase 10 years ago in the next 6 months, right? We need something that is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound, all right? So that's what we need. Now, that's not the most important part of the goal section, okay? The most important part of the goal section is asking them this next question, all right? So the first question is, awesome, all right, well, hey, now that I understand why you're on this call, we have to go back. We have to go back to the why. When you feel, this is really important, when you feel that you have the why, you have to ask them this question. You have to say, if I'm understanding you correctly, the reason you're on the call is blank. Is that right? Or is there more? That's really important because we can never be 100% sure that we've unraveled all the layers of the onion. The only way to be 100% sure is to ask, hey Mary, if I'm hearing you correctly, the biggest reason you're on the call is blank. Is that right? Or is there more? Now, she's either gonna tell you you're right, and at that point, that's when you can move on to the next section, right? Or she's gonna say, no, there's more. And then you're gonna say, Mary, great, tell me, right? And then she's gonna fill in the blank for you anyways. All right, now with the why section, really should spend like 5 to 8 minutes there, right? You'll get better over time, right? But when you feel like you have it, ask that question, and then you'll expedite your answer, okay? All right, from there, we then ask the goal question, right? We very simply say, awesome, what's your biggest goal? You make sure it's a SMART goal. All right, now with the goal section, the next part is the scale of 1 to 10. This is really critical because what we're doing here is we're figuring out if this person has urgency to reach this goal. This is a moment where I do turn some people away, and you should too. We only want to work with people that are 10 out of 10 ready to accomplish this goal. Okay, let's go ahead and break it down. So what I'll say is, Mary, that's awesome. You want to lose 30 pounds in the next 6 months. Out of curiosity, scale of 1 to 10. 1 being you don't care at all. 10 being you have to make this goal a reality. How important is it for you to reach this goal? Well, Chad, it's a 10 out of 10. Mary, that's freaking awesome. Why is it a 10 out of 10? Okay, so if they tell you 10 out of 10, they need to sell you on why they are a 10 out of 10. How they do that is you simply just say, why are you a 10 out of 10? All right, now, a couple things will come of this. One major thing will come of this. If you didn't feel like you got a good why of the why, I almost always get a different answer here and unearth more information on what their root cause for being on the call is. All right, so remember that. That is really critical and that is really important. All right, now if they say less than 10, right? So if they're like, Chad, I'm a 8 out of 10, right? I'll say, hey, Carl, that's awesome. It's obviously really important for you. What would make this a 10 out of 10 for you? Okay? Now, a couple things will happen here. Sometimes they misinterpret what you're saying. All right, and sometimes they misinterpret what you're saying and they think that you're asking scale of 1 to 10, how important is it for them to sign up for your program, right? That will show up as, if they give you this response, well, Chad, what would make it a 10 for me is if I had more money or if I had more time, right? What you want to do here is you want to reframe the question. You want to say, hey, Carl, we all want more money, but money aside, let's say you had all the time in the world if they said time. Let's say you had all the money in the world if they said money. I just want to know how important this goal is in a vacuum. Scale of 1 to 10. 10 being it's the most important thing, 1 being you don't care at all. 1 to 10, how important is the goal, money and time aside? All right, so reframing the question. Now, there also comes a time where they say they're less than a 10. You ask them what would make them a 10, and then what they say is something that there's other priorities in their life. This is where you need to make a judgment call, okay? Because I know I said everybody needs to be a perfect 10 out of 10. It's not entirely true. I've let in 8s and 9s into my program. But I will always ask them, what would make you a 10? And depending on what they say, I'll make a judgment call, okay? If they say, well, Chad, I'm an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10 because, fitness, it's not my number one. My family is my number one, all right? I respect that. Hey, totally get that your family's number one. But if I'm hearing you correctly, this is still something that's extremely critical for you to solve, and you're still gonna place it as a high priority. Is that right? Yes, Chad, absolutely. That's somebody, if they tell me they're an 8 or 9, I'm gonna move forward. All right, anybody less than an 8, I'm not moving forward. So if they say they're a 6, a 7, a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, or a 1, I'm not moving forward, okay? Here's why. I've made the mistake of letting those people in. Horrible clients, absolutely horrible clients. And when you invite a horrible client into your program, it comes back on you. It comes back on your brand. They ask for refunds, cancellations. They're bad culture fits for the client, right? They're total nightmare, total headache. Here's how you politely deny someone. Chad, I'm a 7. Hey, no worries, Carl. What would make it a 10 for you? I'm just gonna be honest, Chad, it's really not my top priority. It's more of a want than a need. Carl, that's okay. I just wanna shoot the record straight. I'm a straight shooter. We really only want to work with people that are 8, 9s, and 10s, individuals that want to take this really seriously. I appreciate your honesty, and it's totally okay if that's not where you're at right now. I'm never one to close a door. I would love to invite you into our free community. I'm going to drop the link in the Zoom chat right now. You can hang out there. We can continue to engage. If this raises in priority level, becomes an 8, 9, or 10, I would love to rediscover this conversation. Does that sound fair to you, Carl? They say yes, we move on. Okay, that's the goal section. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. If you are, make sure you subscribe so that you can keep up with that 3-part series. All right, the next one here is the challenge section. Okay, so very simply, we're gonna say, awesome, I know your goal is to lose 30 pounds in the next 6 months. What are your biggest challenges to accomplishing that? Or what have been your biggest challenges to accomplishing that? Or what do you foresee being your biggest challenges to accomplishing that? All right, we do want to get a list of those challenges. Now, we don't just want to be a doctor at a doctor's office. This isn't just writing down a list of challenges. The challenge section has purpose. And the purpose of the challenge section is to eliminate concerns before they become objections. Okay, this is a really good opportunity to tie down concerns, once again, before they become objections. I'm going to give you a few examples. Now, if they say challenges are nutrition or working out or things like that, that's normal, fine, and dandy. But if they mention money, time, or mindset, we want to tie that down. I'm going to talk to you about how to do that. All right, the time one, right? So they say, Chad, one of my biggest challenges is time, right? I'm going to say, hey, Carl, that's totally fine. We've worked with clients that, struggle with time all the time. Let me ask you this. Our program takes X amount of hours a week, and you should figure out how many hours a week your program takes. Is that something that you can fit into your schedule? If they say yes, we've eliminated that concern. If they say no, then we say, hey, no worries. How many hours a week do you think you can successfully invest that time into a program? Well, Chad, maybe an hour or 2. Carl, no worries at all. We could just redo the program. So instead of your workout program being in a gym and taking an hour in the gym, we're just gonna do quick, high intensity workouts, 15 to 20 minutes at your house. And by the way, this works. Check out this testimonial. Check out this testimonial. Does that sound good to you? Does that sound something that's achievable? Awesome, Carl, great. All right, so that's how we eliminate the time concern. Now, if they say money, we say, hey, I know, money's tough. We all want to make more money. Question for you though, if we get to the end of this program or end of this call and this program 110% is going to help you reach your goal and you feel that, are you open to getting resourceful so we can come up with a payment plan that's fair for you, but also fair for us? They say yes, we've eliminated that concern. All right, now to fish out them saying mindset is a concern, because sometimes they're not forthright about that. In the challenge section, I'll ask them what their challenges are, and then I'll ask them, do you have any mindset challenges towards this goal? Very important question. If they say anything, fear, doubt, imposter syndrome, doesn't matter. We want to tie that concern down. All right, here's how we tie it down. So we want to say, hey, appreciate you being really vulnerable about that. We've worked with a lot of clients who struggle with imposter syndrome before. Let me ask you this. I know you said you have this massive why. We got to lose these 30 pounds so that we can rebuild your marriage with your husband. Are you gonna let something as silly as imposter syndrome get in the way of that? No, Chad, I'm not. Boom, tied down that concern. All right, so that's the point of the challenge section. Get a list of challenges, tie down the concerns. All right, the next section is the tried section, okay? So what we're asking here is we want to say, awesome, so I have a great understanding of your goals, your challenges. Is there anything that you've tried to reach this goal already? Now, they can say one of two things. They can say a list of things that they've tried, or they can tell you that they've tried nothing. Here's what you're gonna do, all right? So if they say they've tried nothing, you're gonna wanna say this. You're gonna say, all right, hey, no worries at all. How long has this been a thought for you? Oh man, it's been a thought for the past 6 months. Wow, 6 months, and you haven't taken any action yet? Why is that? Why haven't you taken action sooner? This is key. Okay, the reason this is key is we're about to flush out their excuses, right? So they're gonna tell you things like, oh, I don't have the time, I don't have the equipment, I don't have this, I don't have that, whatever it is, right? And this is another opportunity for you to tie down those concerns before they become objections. All right, now the other thing they could do is they can tell you they have tried things, right? And we're gonna wanna get a list of the things that they've tried, all right? Then though, this is the most important part, we wanna tie down that they are still open-minded to new approaches and coaching. Why do we wanna do that? Usually people who have tried a list of things, what do they feel? They feel defeated. They're not always still open-minded to receiving more coaching, okay? So here's what we're gonna say. Hey, totally admire that you've tried a bunch. Are you still in an open-minded state? Are you still in a coachable state to receiving new information to helping you reach your goal, to continue to receive coaching to help you reach your goal? Yes, I'm still open to new information. I'm still open to more coaching. Great, okay? That's the purpose of the tried section. Okay, this next section is not one that I've seen on any sales script but ours. Okay, this is 12 months if you do, 12 months if you don't. All right, here's what we're doing. We're painting the picture of if they decide to move forward versus if they don't decide to move forward. So here's what we're gonna do. All right, so we're gonna say, hey, cool, we're getting near the end of the discovery here. Really excited to show you our program. I think you're a great fit. Before we get to that, I do just have one exercise I want to take you through. All right, so 12 months from now, if you decide not to move forward, if you decide not to take action on this goal, what does your life look like 12 months from now? What else? Tell me more. What else? Tell me more. Oh, okay, Chad, I think that's about it, right? When they say that, that's it. Right, then we can go to the next question. All right, cool, well, hey, let's get away from the negative. Let's go to the positive. 12 months from now, you've lost the 30 pounds, you've accomplished your goal. What does life look like then? What else? What else? Tell me more, tell me more. Chad, that's it. Awesome. Well, here's my question for you, Carl. Are you willing to settle for anything less than the perfect picture that you just painted for me? No, Chad, I'm not. All right, it's a soft close. Right? It shows them their two paths if they decide to move forward, if they don't decide to move forward, and then it's a soft close on moving forward. Okay, two more parts in the discovery. The next one here is the needs question. All right, so the needs question sets up the presentation. All right, so here we go. Basically all you say is, great, I understand your goals, your challenges, what you tried. What do you feel like you need to accomplish? What do you feel like you need from us to accomplish this goal? Well, Chad, I need a strategy, I need accountability. Okay, how much accountability? What do you need in that strategy, right? Get a list of the things they need. When you go into the presentation, highlight the things that they said they needed in your program, and they're gonna connect the dots of, wow, this is the perfect program for me, okay? So the need question sets up the presentation. The very last part of the discovery is the recap. All right, you are a coach. I am a coach. What is a great asset of a coach? A listener. And that's in the recap is your opportunity to show that you are a listener. Here's how you're gonna do it. You're basically gonna say, all right, well, hey, I just wanna do a quick recap. Please let me know. This is your opportunity to grade me. Please let me know if I missed anything. So if I'm understanding you correctly, the big reason you're on the call is blank. The goal you want to accomplish is blank. You're struggling with X, Y, and Z. You've tried X, Y, and Z, and what you need from us is blank, blank, blank. Is that right? Did I miss anything? No, Chad, that was great. Boom, we're done, and now we go into the presentation. All right, one last question before we end part one of this video here that I want to answer is, how long should your discoveries be? 15 to 20 minutes max, okay? I do hour-long sales calls. I think that's what it takes. A lot of people advocate for less. I don't advocate for more. I say 45 minutes to an hour, especially if you're doing one call close or you're working with people that are kind of like lukewarm leads, right? Or cold leads. We need an hour minimum. And I think 15 to 20 minutes of that hour should be your discovery section. Anything longer than that, you've messed up. Anything shorter than that, you haven't gone deep enough, okay? That's it. That's part one of this 3-part series. We're gonna be breaking down the same exact sales script that helped me do over 8 figures in sales by the age of 28. Make sure you subscribe. If this was helpful at all, please leave a thumbs up. I don't ask for anything. The only thing I ask for is engagement. Thumbs up, comment, subscribe. That's the best way to repay.